Hari Om. Let's start with the prayer. Om Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pitatvameva Tvameva Bandhusya Sakhatvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Amadeva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. We are doing the Panchadashi of Vidyaranya Swami and doing the 7th chapter on the Trupti Deepa Prakaranam. We are now in the Sloka 254 is finished, and Vidyaranya is discussing the 7 stages of spiritual evolution or spiritual development, and we are in the final stage of this 7th stage, and these 7 stages involve avidya, starting with, that is ignorance of my own self, and it manifests as I am equal to this. That is the fundamental expression of the ignorance, because I am a conscious entity and this is an inert entity and I cannot be this. So the whole ego, ahankara, any introduction that we do as I am this itself shows that the ignorance is there. So ignorance cannot be pointed out as an object but can be known through its operation, because the very fact that I do not know myself, therefore I am taking what I am not as I am. When I say I am this. Transactionally, if I take it, is different with understanding I am not this, but for transactional purposes I had to use that. That is different from identifying I am this, and therefore suffering as a consequence of this ignorance is the fundamental problem. So avidya is the first, and because of ignorance, and it covers the truth, and that is the nature of ignorance. If I don't know what it is, that means the ignorance is covering the knowledge. So according to our Indian system of logic, knowledge is always there, but ignorance is covering, and a means of knowledge, a pramana, uncovers or discovers the truth behind it. So for that I need a means. So means is required in order to uncover the knowledge. So therefore any means is called pramana, and pramana is required in order to accomplish that. So therefore even a scientist also has to discover. When you say I discovered, that means he is removing the cover by means of a process, and that is essentially called the avidya, that is covered, avarana, vikshepa, projecting what I am not as I am is the vikshepa. And to know the truth, I need to inquire, vichara. So tad the adhato brahma jignasa, adhato, after understanding the problem, adhato, having a mind that is ready to inquire. Adhato means having the prerequisites for to inquire. So a mind has to be prepared to investigate, because it's a very subtle, and otherwise everybody would have learned and who they are. And even Mahatmas and the great the philosophers could not find out what the real nature of Atma. So that means it's very, very subtle. So therefore the 7 stages we are talking about, one is the avidya. Avidya is ignorance. Ignorance of what? Ignorance of anything that is called a thula vidya, objective ignorance of any object. So chemistry I don't know, physics I don't know, biology I don't know. These are called thula avidya. And for that, when I discovered, I know only that part. That is, if I learn chemistry, I know only chemistry, I won't know physics or biology and so on and so forth. So these are called thula vidya. We are talking about not that, because even the objective knowledge is considered as only avidya only. What we are looking is fundamental ignorance, that is what I do not know myself, and that's called avidya. And the next one is avarana. Avarana is covering out my true nature. the avidya itself covers. So I have to discover, means remove the cover. How do I remove the cover? Because this is a avidya cover can only be removed by a knowledge or by a process, and the process is called the study or investigation, inquiry, and inquiry has to be done through proper tools and using the mind. For physics inquiry, I need to use proper tools to discover the truth there, and that provides you the information. Then I had to think whether the gravitational force is the one that is causing the apple to fall down. Because apple is falling down is a data that I can see, but what I see and what I deduce, which I cannot see, I have to inquire, vichara. So therefore, the avarana vikshepa means projecting something what I am not as I am is vikshepa. So avidya, avarana, vikshepa, then paroksha jnanam. So first to know what is this world, how did it come from, where did it come from, is there a creator, is there an Ishvara? All this, how am I going to know? And even the great scientists will declare, like Stephen Hopkins said, God did not create the world. How does he know God did not create the world? He says, for them, God is some human being or some conscious entity up in the sky to create. That kind of the Abrahamic the understanding is negated even in Vedanta also. We do not, the God is not up in the scale. He cannot be outside the creation, he cannot be inside the creation. If there is outside creation, the outside also has to be created. So there cannot be anything outside the creation. So creation itself has to be infinite. He cannot be inside the creation because anything inside the creation is created. So he has to be before creation. So only choice is he and the creation cannot be separate. So that Abrahamic religions does not mention, but it's only Vedanta as a pramana. So therefore, the paroksha knowledge, what is the nature of the God, how does he create, where is the material for creation, where do you get material, all those processes are analyzed in the Vedanta. That's called paroksha jnanam. Then aparoksha jnanam, that is we have talking about avidya, avarana, vikshepa, paroksha. Then aparoksha means that which is before, which is of the nature of Satchidananda, is I am. That comes from the Mahavakya Vichara that is provided by the Vedanta. So that called aparoksha jnanam. So avidya, avarana, vikshepa, paroksha, aparoksha, and in the process of understanding dukkha nivrutti, sukha prapti. So up to dukkha nivrutti means I am no more a samsari. I have understood that my true nature is I am a sakshi. I am all-pervading consciousness of the nature of my swarupa means of the nature of Anandam itself that I have been searching for, but I am that. Just like the 10th man is searching for, the one who is seeking for the 10th man is the 10th man himself. The one who is looking for happiness is the one who is already happy. Happiness comes from only oneself only, not from the external objects. So that understanding comes only then dukkha nivrutti. There is no more suffering, samsara. And the last aspect is sukha prapti, and that is the seventh stage where I realize that I am pure Satchidanandam, where my nature itself is Ananda. Once I understood that, then all other, looking back, all other things that I have been longing for, happiness, is now realized that there is no meaning in that. Therefore, I have accomplished what need to be accomplished. I have gained what need to be gained. Whole purpose of life itself, that I have been spending life after life after life, that is essentially punarapi maranam, punarapi jananam, and this goes on, and now I discovered the essential truth that I have been longing for all through my life. And therefore, in the 254 it says, tadetat krutakrutyatvam, tat etat krutakrutyatvam. So I have accomplished what need to be accomplished, and pratiyogi purah saram, and it's in the previous ones they're incomplete. In all the gains that I have, it's always, we said, it's a dukkha misri tattvam and asamtruptikaram and the bandhakatvam. all the three doshas are there in all my gains in the previously. Now I am beyond all that. So therefore, anusandadhi vayamevam trupyasya nityasaha. I am eternally happy, contented, and there is no more longing mind or wanting mind or desiring mind. So I am full by myself. That's my nature. So nityasaha trupyati. So I always remain contented. That means full, and therefore no more. If I am incomplete, then I need something to complete. But if I am already full, then there is no more longing for to make me full anymore. It's called, it's essentially apurnam. Apurnam means overflowing happiness comes out from that Mahatma. Now we'll chant 255. Dukkino jnaha samsarantu. Dukkino jnaha samsarantu. Kamam putradhyapekshaya. Kamam putradhyapekshaya. Paramananda purnoham. Paramananda purnoham. Samsarami kimichaya. Samsarami kimichaya. So he is comparing, as you in the past two slokas, what was my state before, or what was the what is the state of an ajnani or in the ignorant person versus a wise person. So dukkina ajnaha. Ajnaha means the ignorant person. He always suffers because of samsarantu. So he is always going through samsara and continuously running after. So samsarati means continuously going after happiness. I want this, I want this, I want this. So everyone, if you look at everybody's life, they are not happy with what they have. They want some more to make them happy. So rat race, it goes on. A person at a low level wants some more things. Once you got this, he wants some higher one. So one who you don't have millions, you want a million. One you see everybody is millionaire, you want a billion. If you have a billion, you want some more. So greediness never stops because of the incomplete nature of the human mentality. So dukkina ajnaha samsarantu kamam putradhyapekshaham. So the desire for putra adi, so the sons and the wife, so on, this one, that one, so on. So apekshaya. So essentially longing for it, or expectations from the happiness from the son, from the wife, from so on and so forth. This is the state of my state before, or the state of ajnani. Whereas Paramananda Purnoham, I am Paramam Anandam. It is Paramam, supreme Anandam. Is essentially my nature itself is Ananda. It's not that I am having Ananda. Happiness is my own nature, intrinsic nature. I cannot but be Ananda because I am full Brahman. So Brahman is Anantam, Anantameva Anandaha. So that is Swarupam. Swarupam is its intrinsic nature itself, Brahman. Swarupa is necessary and sufficient. That's what we call it in mathematics. I mentioned that this attribute is not an attribute, like H2O is necessary and sufficient to describe water. So it is essentially called Swarupa Lakshanam. So H2O is water, water is H2O. Wherever H2O is there, water is there. Wherever water is there, it's H2O because it's intrinsic nature itself. So wherever I am full by myself. That is called Paramanandaha. Aham. And samsarami kimichaya. Then why do I have to run around for happiness? Samsarami kimichaya. For what sake? For what sake I had to go around? So for me, there is no reason for me to go around to get happiness. If at all I go, it's only out of my own desire for variety or for entertainment only. And that's what there is no reason for me to run around. That's what it says. Now we'll do 256. This is essentially state of that we have that state of a Jivan Mukta, where he is reveling in himself by himself. Atmaniyeva Atmanatustaha. So he doesn't depend on anything other than himself for happiness, and that is real love. So he pours out love because he is not expecting anything in return. Whereas any other love is only transactional love, because I love you as long as, you give me happiness. All that is Atmanastu Kamaya Sarvam Priyam Bhavati. This is the essential teaching of Yajnavalkya to Maitreyi. Says, Hare, hey Maitreyi, my dear Maitreyi, husband doesn't love wife, wife doesn't love husband. What they love is only source of happiness, and that's what. Whereas I love myself because I am the very source of happiness itself, and that's what is the. And I am full by myself. There is no more. I want anything else now. We'll do 256 now. Anutishtantu karmani, anutishtantu karmani, paraloka iyasavaha, paraloka iyasavaha, sarvalokatmaka kasmatu, sarvalokatmaka kasmatu, anutishtami kim katham, anutishtami kim katham. Again, comparison of a ajnani versus jnani. Anutishtanti karmani. So, and the one who is ajnani, he performs karmani, all the karma kandas about purva. So you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do that. To go to Swarga, you have to perform this, you have to go and dip here, go and dip there, go on to, so that you will be happy. So when you go to a temple, you have a big list of things. Oh Lord, give me happiness, give me this, give me that, because this gives me happiness, that gives you happiness. I want my son to be there, I want my daughter to be there, I want my daughter. All those lists, is big list. You spend a lot of time giving your gotram, your this and all that. But here, once you have understood that I am full, there is nothing I really need it. So why do I waste his time and my time and necessarily asking for a list? So anutishtanti karmani paraloka iyasavaha. So the one who is desiring paraloka, means heavens and all that, he has to perform this yajna, that yajna. So whole karma kanda is so big because the desires are many, and therefore different types of karmas have been prescribed to get this or to get that, and so on and so forth. Sarva lokatmaka kasmat. If for to go to heavens I have to do something. But sarva lokatmaka, one who recognizes that I am everything, including the whole universe is in me, and therefore then what do that I need to gain? Because I am Purnam. Purnam means I am Brahman. All 14 lokas are in me only. So lokatmaka, in me means not in the sense of particular BMI. One has to be careful. Here in me means in me as a Sakshi. And sarva lokatmakaha kasmat anutishtami kim katham. Therefore, what is there for me to do any action? Anutishtami, for me to be established in any karma, anything. So there is no necessity for me to do any action, any karma kanda, whether it's the karma kanda of Veda Vihita karma or even the Vyavaharika transactional karma. In principle, there is nothing really I had to do. In fact, even the scriptures cannot tell what a Jivan Mukta or a realized person should do or should not do. So this is essentially Kasmat, what for, but yet he may do, that we will see in the next few slokas. So 257. Vyachakshatam te shastrani, Vyachakshatam te shastrani, Vedanadhyapayantu va, Yetradhikarino metu, Nadhikaro kriyatvatah, together, Vyachakshata te shastrani, Vedanadhyapayantu va, Yetradhikarino metu, Nadhikaro kriyatvatah. So you have to study scriptures, you have to do this, you have to do big list of do's and don'ts are there during the seeker stage, or during the one who is longing for. So he says essentially atra, in the karma upasana, in the karma kanda, those adhikarneha, those who think they are qualified for that, even for those particular karmas, you should be qualified to do that also. So some karmas can only be done by a grihastha, and therefore you have to qualify to do those karmas. So adhikaranaha te shastrani vyachakshatam. So shastrani, the shastras also, they expound about what need to be done and how one should do and what are the things that you need. All those details have been spelled out clearly in the Karma Kanda. That's why it's so big also. So either doing the Karma Kanda or Vedan Adhyapayantu. So the one who doesn't know, the one who wants to know, teach Vedanta or learn Vedanta or by heart Vedanta, Vedadhyanam. Adhyanam is, in the olden days, the children were sent to Gurukula. They first study the Vedanta as they learn by heart it, and then only afterwards they start meaning of it. That's how the system education was that. So Adhyapayantu, one can teach Vedanta in the Gurukula style, and that's also part of Karma Kanda also. To Akriyataha. So I'm a Akriyaha, I'm never a doer. Once I understand that I'm never a doer, so for those who think that they have to do and their Kartrutva Bhavam is there. So as long as Kartrutva Bhavam means I am a doer, I need to do, if I don't take care of it, who is going to take care of it, I need to eat, I need to sleep, all those we talk about is essentially for those who have not understood. Whereas I have realized that I am not a doer. So therefore, Akriyatattvata. So I am being non-doer, for me, na adhikara. I am not really qualified, or I need not do. Adhikara here is also, I need not do anything. And here, since I am not going to do also, I understood that I am not doer also. So Krishna talks about the kartrutvam, and he says, who is a wise man? He defines a wise man. Say, karmanya karmaya pasyetu akarmani sa karmaya sabuddhiman manushyeshu sayukta krishna karmakrita. So karmani akarmaya, in the action, who does while performing an action, who sees himself that I am not even a doer. This is what is a state of, say, what is this? It's a contradiction, right? So it says, while doing it, it says, I am not a doer. So how can that be? Because I recognize that I am a witnessing of the body, mind, intellect doing it. Because body, mind, intellect belongs to Prakriti. So Krishna says, Prakriti eva cha karmani kriyamani sarvajha yah pasyate tadatmanam akartaram sapasyati. Prakriti himself is doing. So who is eating? The body is eating and mind is involved in this one. Intellect is thinking, all intellect is writing, body is writing, and all those things is Prakriti eva cha karmani. So when Shankaracharya writes a bhashya, he says, I am writing it. He doesn't say my body, mind, intellect is writing. He doesn't have to use that language. So you don't have to use a strange language in order to say that this body, mind, intellect is doing. Remember, Maya Abhyakshena, under my guidance only, the body, mind, intellect is doing. But I don't take the responsibility of the doership while still doing this. I say for the sake of transactions, I say I am doing, I am flying, I am running, I am eating, I want to sleep. All those can be done with the understanding that I am not even a doing. So karmani akarmaya pasyetu. One who sees himself, I am not a doer, while doing is going on. Akarmanicha karmaya, even while not doing, seeing that I am a doer also, because I am a sakshi. I am the one who pervades everything. I am the one which enlivens the whole bodies and mind, intellect. And this is what in the Kenopanishad, a story where the Indras, the Devas won over the Rakshasas, and everybody boosting, I am the one who caused the problem, I am the one, we did it. So he says, you never did it, because suddenly Yaksha appears, Brahman appears in the form of a Yaksha, and they don't know what it is. They think that they are sarvagnyas, but at the same time they are ashamed that they don't know what this is. So one by one Agni comes, and then Vayu comes, and then Indra comes to inquire what it is. So when Agni comes, the Yaksha asks, who are you? He says, I am Agni. I thought everybody should know that I am Agni. So what is that you can do? He says, I can burn a whole universe. I say, oh, I see, that great you are. Huh? So burn this dry blade of grass. He says, you are insulting me. I can burn the whole universe with this blade of grass. So Agni tries, but he could not do. So who is the doer? Because of that, I am the real doer. The Paramatma, he says, Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Asritaha Prana Samayuktaha Pachamyannam Chaturvidam. We just gulp something, but Lord is the one who has to digest the food. Whole night he is working hard because particular enzyme has to come, the particular sequence has to become. If the food is proper, then things are. If not proper, then they give him enough problems in the stomach so that he won't eat anymore, dump any more things. All that is done. So prana, apana, vyana, udana, saman, all physiological functions are done by me as a Vaishvanara. So therefore, this is akarmani say karma. He is the real doer, but acts as if he is not a doer. Saha buddhiman, one who knows that. As manusheshu, saha yuktaha, krishna karmata. He is the one who is wise, and he is the one who is accomplished what need to be accomplished. This was Krishna's statement is being mentioned here by Vidyaranya. So here that statement comes in the next 258. Nidra bhikshe snana sauche, Nidra bhikshe snana sauche, Necha minakaromi cha, Necha minakaromi cha, Drushtaraschet kalpayanti, Drushtaraschet kalpayanti, Kim me syat anya kalpanat, Kim me syat anya kalpanat. So Nidra, he is giving list of things here. Nidra, sleeping. Bhiksha, the eating food. Snana, taking bath. Sauche, the cleaning up, cleaning oneself. Na ichchami, I have no desire to do any of this. Nasa karomi, I don't do also. So drashtaraha, the onlookers, say kalpayanti, they imagine that I am doing it. It's very funny. I have no desire to do, even to eat, to sleep, to that. At the same time, people see that I am doing it. So is it not a contradiction? No. From the point of thought, she is only witnessing it. If a body, mind, intellect is doing, but he understood that I am not the body, body is this, and I am pure existent consciousness. I am not this, neti neti, but I am that because of which this is functioning. That has to be understood. So therefore, I am neither have a desire to do it, nor I am doing it also. So he says, karmanya akarmaya pasyet. That's what Krishna stated. In veiled actions, who seeks himself not a doer, and that's what being emphasized here. So other people think that you are doing because they are still ajnani. Identify that he is also with the body, mind, intellect. They identify as a jiva only. So drashtaram chet kalpayanti, kim me syat anya kalpanat. So what? Let them see. So they want to see that hey, he is also doing, Swamiji is also doing, he is also doing action. So what is different? He doesn't do, but he is doing it. Whereas I think I do, and therefore I suffer the consequence if it is not done properly. So all that is coming. So I am not doing anything, nor I have desire to do anything. That's what he says. Because I am full by myself. So the Brahman cannot create anything, because infinite cannot do and cannot create also. So from the point of identification with the pure Satchidananda, I am not a doer. So this is how others' vision is different from the actual fact is understood here. 259. Gunja punjadi dahyeta, Gunja punjadi dahyeta, Nasyaropita vaknina, Nasyaropita vaknina, Nanya ropita samsara, Nanya ropita samsara, Dharma seva maham bhaje, Dharma seva maham bhaje, Dharmaneva maham bhaje, Dharmaneva maham bhaje. Together. Gunja punjadi dahyeta, Nasya ropita vaknina, Nanya ropita samsara, Dharmaneva maham bhaje. So there used to be what is called fiery red berries. They are supposed to be, looks like a very fiery. So from a distance, if you look at a big heap of this fiery red berries, if you look at it, they look like fiery, maybe that color, and from a distance you see there's the fire there. So here is saying Nanya or so Gunja Punja Adi Dahyeta na. So Gunja Punja na Dahyate. So this because it's Aropita Vahneva. It's only as though superimpose fire on top of this big the hill of the red berries. So one thinks that these are being burned or they are burning, but actually there is no fire at all. Actually, it appears to be there for one who does not have a discriminative capability, who does not see berries there and sees only a continuous fire, and for them it appears to be fire. The thing is a fire is there, but it is essentially na anya ropita samsaraha dharman eva aham bhaje. So anya aropita vahnina, just other people superimposing the fire there, other people superimpose the kartrutvam and bhoktrutvam on the wise person also. But my aham nabade. So, but I do not suffer the consequence of this action or inaction at all. So, even though my body may, if the food is not given, the body may suffer, but the body is maintained of the Mahatma by Lord himself. Lord makes sure that the body gets food as required, and we hear so many stories that Mahatma, when he was so hungry, that somehow, somewhere, somebody comes and gives the food. It happened to Vivekananda ji, and this happened to Swami Tapovan when he was walking in the forest. He doesn't have anything, he doesn't carry anything, and he got lost in the forest, and people are warned him not to go that way because there are robbers there, and he says they have nothing to rob. What can they rob? So when he got lost, robbers really came there to find out if he has anything, and since recognizing that he doesn't have and he's a Mahatma and got lost, they ended up feeding him and showing him the way out of the forest also. So Lord comes in so many ways. In fact, if you look at the book called Ishvara Darshan, where the autobiography of the Swami Tapovan, it's a mind-boggling because you see how the Lord himself takes care of that. Ananyas chintayanto maayeduna paryupasate tesham nityabhyuktanam yogatshemam vahamiham. You see that statement, how true that is, that if you are not thinking anything other than me, then it's my duty to take care of you. So yogatshemam vahamiham, that is the declaration of the Lord himself. We'll do 260. Shunvantvajñāta tattvaste, Shunvantvajñāta tattvaste, Jānan kasmā srunomyaham, Jānan kasmā srunomyaham, Manyantam samsaya pannaha, Manyantam samsaya pannaha, Namanyeham samsayaha, namanyeham samsayaha. Together, Srunvantvajñāta tattvaste, Jānan kasmā srunomyaham, Manyantam samsaya pannaha, namanyeham samsayaha. So Ajñāta Tattvaha, those who do not know the Ajñāta, the Tattvaha Ajñātaha, the one who do not know the truth, means the seekers and the ignorant people, they, for them, let them Srunvantu, let them listen to the scriptures. So those who do not know, let them listen to the scriptures. those who do not know. So Srunvantu, let them listen. Aham Janan, I knowing the scriptures, Kasmat, for what purpose Srunomi, why should I listen again? I've already listened and I already learned what it is, then what is the point of keep listening to that again? So Samsaya Pannaha, those who have doubts, let them reflect Manyantam, reflect, so Srotavyaha, Mantavyaha, Nididhyasitavyaha. That's what the scripture says. Why? Because I need to know. So those who do not know have to listen. Tad vijnanartham sagurum eva abhigached. If you do not know, go to a teacher and learn. So you have to listen to the teacher. So let them who do not know listen to the scriptures, and let them who have doubts, let them reflect on it. Manvantaha. So I already know, so there is nothing for me to listen and nothing for me to reflect on. Aham asamsayaha namanye. So I do not have doubts, therefore there is no need for me to listen, there is no need for me to reflect on. So there is a sloka in the Viveka Chudamani. Shankaracharya says, Avijñāte pare tattve shastra dishtu nishpala. It's a very funny statement there. Avijñāte pare tattve shastra dishtu nishpala. Vijñāte pi pare tattve shastra dishtu nishpala. We covered all this in the Advanced Vedanta. If you go to YouTube under Acharya Sadaji and look the Introduction to Vedanta, then also Advanced Vedanta, there are about 260 the videos are there, each 20 minutes. There we covered the Viveka Chudamani as a basis. We covered the whole the scriptural analysis. So in that avijñāte pare tattve, if I do not know the scriptures, then if I do not know the truth, then Shastra is nishpala, then study of scriptures is useless, because if after studying, if I do not inquire into that to know what exactly the scripture is pointing out, then what good is the scripture? It's like studying biology or physics and all that. So I can be expert in quoting left and right about the scriptures, but if I don't know the truth, what good is that? So I forgot the sloka also. The same Viveka Chudamani says the Vagvaikari Sabdajari Shastra Akyanu Kaushalam. The Vagjari, the Jari, the continuously speech, like I'm doing right now, speech and all that becomes only Shastra Vakya, only to exhibit my knowledge only. Then what good is that? So why am I doing it? I am only doing it not for my sake, so that whatever Lord has given me to share that knowledge for those who are interested. So it's not for my sake, and it is not for my living or anything, because Lord has comfortably provided me what all I need in the whole life itself. I am blessed by that. So all this teaching and all this is only to know whatever I could with my knowledge, share my understanding only. So avijñāte pare tattve shastrādistu nishpala. Vijñāte pare tattve shastrādistu nishpala. If I know already, then what good is studying, keep on studying the scriptures? However, I go and listen to the talks, I go and listen to any satsang, not necessarily to know, but to keep my mind in that constant the awareness. It becomes a nididhyasanam. So even the teaching is also, or whatever I'm giving talk, is for my own sake, because that keeps me in this rather than in the other transactional world. So that way it is for my own benefit. In that case, when I have to talk about it, I should know what it is, even though my language is not that good, but to the degree that Lord has provided me, I have to share my knowledge. That becomes a part of the sadhana also. I don't know why I told, but anyway I told. So we'll do 261. Viparyasto nididhyaset, viparyasto nididhyaset kim, viparyasto nididhyaset kim, dhyanama viparyayat, jnanama viparyayat dehatmatva viparyasam nakadachit bhajamyaham nakadachit bhajamyaham. So those who need to know versus those who do not need to know is discussing here. Viparyastaha, the one who has viparita jnanam, the one who has erroneous knowledge. Nididhyase, they have to do nididhyasana. So in the previous sloka we will talk about Sravanam and Maranam, and now who has to do nididhyasana? The one who has a viparita jnanam. Viparita jnanam is contradictory understanding. So even though I studied scriptures, even though I know it, but still I had to do nididhyasana that we discussed in the previous slokas before, because I am not able to keep that knowledge all the time. When I am transacting in the world, because of the remnant ragadveshas, my mind is getting back into it. Therefore, I have to do constantly reflect on the teaching. So for those who need a nididhyasanam because of the erroneous knowledge, so they have to do nididhyasanam. Aviparyaya dhyanam kim. If I do not have any erroneous knowledge, I know crystal clearly everything is nothing but my own self, that I am playing in everything is my own vibhuti, then there is nothing, it's already, I am reveling in myself by myself, called Atmarati, Atmakrida. When I am sitting in the meditation, I am reveling in myself, and when I am playing in the transactor world, I am playing with myself only. So for me, there is no nididhyasana because I am already in that state all the time. Aham dehatmatva, the one who has, I am this body, who has that notion, viparyasam, so they need to do it. But when I do not have it, then I do not have mistake body as myself. So kadachit na bhajami, never I am going to make a notion that I am this body. So that viparita jnanam is not there, then I don't have to do anything at all. With this, we'll stop here and we will do 262 after we come back. Hari Om. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.